So last lecture we were discussing about vector control methods. So vector control actually means the motor terminal voltages and currents have sensed, and this sensed quantities, they are in ABC reference frame. These ABC quantities will be converted into a two-phase quantity for easy control. And I have told you in that lecture itself that this is done by using certain transformations in reference frame theory. So today we will see those kinds of transformation in reference frame theory. So what is the use of this transformation? Suppose you got a three-phase complex AC network. So this analysis of this network can be done very easily, or this analysis can be simplified by using the transformation in reference frame theory. This is done by, what is the meaning of this transformation? The three-phase quantities like ABC, quantities in ABC reference frame is available here. So we will project these three-phase quantities onto two stationary axes. Two stationary axes. And if possible, for example, this is a three-phase system in ABC reference frame, we'll be projecting this three-phase into a stationary frame like alpha beta, and if possible we can also rotate this frame synchronously with respect to a reference frequency. Okay, so this entire three-phase quantities is projected into another frame of reference. Okay, this can be alpha beta, this can be dq0, and there are many reference frames are available. You can project this ABC into any one of those reference frame, and we can also make this frame rotate with respect to a reference frequency. Okay, so this is the actually the meaning of this transformation. So what are the advantages that you will be getting if you are transforming? So in the next year or the next semester you will be doing certain projects, so there you need certain types of control in induction machine, or if you are designing any active filters, a STATCOM, and a flexible AC transmission device or any control, and if you select any of these topics, then you will understand what's the need of this transformation. To get the reference signal or the control signal, we have to convert these three-phase quantities into any of this reference frame, and then we can finally convert it back. So the analysis becomes very easily, we can do the analysis very easily. That is the advantage of this kind of transformation. Okay, so there are two types of transformation most widely used. One is that you can transform the ABC quantities into a frame of reference which is known as alpha beta gamma or alpha beta 0, or simply you can say alpha beta. ABC to alpha beta transformation, which means if this is a transformation block, you give the original ABC quantities in three phase to this, and the output you are getting the alpha beta quantities. If you are giving current IA, IB and IC, at the output you will be getting I alpha and I beta, currents in alpha beta reference frame. Or if you are providing the voltage VA, VB and VC, at the output you get the alpha component of V, that is V alpha. Also you will be getting the voltage component V beta. Okay, so this transformation ABC to alpha beta gamma or alpha beta 0 or alpha beta transformation is generally known as the Clark's transformation, proposed by Edith Clark. Okay, so based on this or using this Clark's transformation matrix, the three-phase quantities can be projected onto two stationary axes. Okay, so the meaning is alpha and beta are two stationary axes. Okay, and we are projecting these ABCs into the stationary axis. Why we are projecting into these two-phase quantities? Because in two-phase if we are using an induction machine, we can independently control both torque and current, that I have told you in the previous lecture. Okay, so we will see more about the Clark's transformation. What is the Clark's transformation matrix? The transformation is done using a transformation matrix. Now here is a Clark's transformation matrix. Suppose that I want the three currents as there, IA, IB and IC. I need its alpha component and I need its beta component. Okay, so the transformation matrix I alpha, I beta or I gamma. This the last component, gamma component, is normally like a zero sequence component in symmetrical analysis. It's not having any magnitude. Okay, so normally we will avoid it, but it is there. That's why we normally call it as alpha beta. So I alpha, I beta, I gamma. You don't think that this is also a three-phase component. The last component is like the zero sequence. It's not having any magnitude. So only alpha beta will be there. So how will you convert this ABC into alpha beta? I alpha, I beta, I gamma is equal to, this is your transformation matrix, root of 2 by 3 into 1 minus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2, 0, root 3 by 2 minus root 3 by 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2 into currents in ABC reference frame, IA, IB and IC. So when you multiply this current IA, IB and IC with this transformation matrix with the root of 2 by 3, you will get the equivalent alpha beta components. Okay, similarly you can do V alpha, V beta, V gamma is equal to root of 2 by 3 into same matrix into VA, VB, VC. So if you apply this kind of transformation, you can project your three-phase quantities into two stationary reference frame alpha and beta, and you get the corresponding current alpha and beta, I alpha, I beta or V alpha, V beta. This is very important. Clark's transformation matrix. Okay, now the reverse operation. You have given an alpha component I alpha and I beta. How will you get the original component IA, IB and IC? Because after doing all the simplification analysis at the output of any circuit, we need the three-phase quantities in its original form. So how will you convert this I alpha, I beta into IA, IB and IC? By using reverse Clark's transformation. Okay, so the reverse transformation matrix IA, IB and IC is equal to root of 2 by 3 into 1, 0, 1 by root 2 minus 1 by 2 root 3 by 2 1 by root 2 minus 1 by 2 minus root 3 by 2 1 by root 2. So all the third column elements are 1 by root 2 into I alpha, I beta, I gamma. Okay, so in this way you can easily convert to find out the ABC components back. This is known as the alpha beta to ABC transformation or inverse Clark's transformation using this matrix. Okay, so now I will show an example. So how this ABC will be transformed into alpha beta. Suppose we have a three-phase voltage. Let this be IA. 120 degree displaced you have IB, and again 120 degree displaced you have IC. Okay, so when you can transform this into alpha beta reference frame, get this is alpha component, let it I alpha. Okay, similarly you also get the beta component, I beta, and your I gamma is the zero sequence components not having any magnitude. It is lies here like this. Okay, so the entire three-phase quantities ABC will be converted into two stationary reference axes alpha and beta. Now using this alpha and beta, there are a lot of theories have been developed to find out the equivalent parameters, like how to calculate the instantaneous, active power, reactive power. All these things can be calculated, that you will be learning in higher classes. The instantaneous real power theory, reactive power theory, lots of theories are there, PQ, PQR, SR, and many more theories are there. So based on that theories, once you convert this into alpha beta frame, you can easily find out P and Q and certain other parameters, etc. That's the advantage of this technique. Okay, so this is the meaning of Clark's transformation, ABC to alpha beta transformation. Okay, now another type of transformation is here, which is generally known as the Parkes transformation. So Parkes transformation is actually the transformation which is converting all the alpha beta quantities into another frame of reference, which is known as the DQ0 reference frame, or simply DQ. Alpha beta to DQ. So this transformation rotates the two stationary axes alpha beta synchronously with a reference frequency. I've told you that alpha beta is a stationary reference frame. Okay, now I am going to rotate that stationary reference frame with respect to a reference frequency. Then you will get the DQ component. The meaning is, you have already the components like I alpha and I beta is here. Okay, these are the stationary axis. Now with respect to a frequency, I am going to apply that frequency term here using the signal omega t. When I apply here, I will get the ID and IQ component, which is rotating with respect to this frequency. You will get a synchronously rotating frame of reference you will be getting. So this theory, this synchronously rotating frame theory, using this also you can design many controllers. Okay, so and also it is having its own advantages, every theory. So there are if you want to read more, you go to IEEE Explore and you search for the purpose instantaneous reactive power theories or filter design using SRF, synchronous rotating. SRF means synchronously rotating frame of reference. So if you search in all these papers, you can see that many filters, DITCH, STATCOM, flexible AC transmission devices, devices like UPFC, UPQC, and all these things, active power filters, hybrid filters, and all these things are used in transmission and distribution system for enhancing the power quality. And all these devices are employing, all these devices are using this kind of techniques, transformation techniques, to find out various parameters. Okay, so alpha beta is a stationary reference frame. We will be converting into a rotating reference frame DQ, and the rotating frequency will be given to the input side. So the frame alpha DQ frame will be rotating at a particular frequency. So this is also how will you done using some kind of transformation matrix. So I am going to write the Parkes transformation matrix. You will be given alpha and beta expecting ID and IQ or VD and VQ. So the components ID, IQ and I0. The third component is not having any magnitude, so we'll normally won't say that. ID, IQ and I0. This is a transformation matrix. This is very important. Cos theta, sin theta 0, minus sin theta, cos theta 0, 0, 0, 1 into I alpha, I beta. Okay, so in this way, similarly this transformation can be applied to voltages also. VD, VQ and V0 is equal to this matrix into V alpha, V beta and V0. Okay, now how will you get the reverse transformation, which means how will you convert this DQ0 back to alpha beta? So that's by using inverse Parkes transformation. So you can write I alpha, I beta, I gamma is equal to, this is the inverse transformation matrix, cos theta minus sin theta 0, sin theta cos theta 0, 0 0 1 into id, iq and I0. So in this way you can easily convert all the dq quantities back to alpha beta. So if I draw a graph combining all these, you have this ABC quantities, this is IA, IB and this is IC. So when you convert into alpha and beta, you will get like this. This is I alpha and this is I beta. Okay. Now when you convert this alpha beta into dq, you will get like this. This is q and this is d. You can convert into the three phase into this three phase ABC. We can easily convert to this two phase equivalent value d and q, and this d and q axis. In this d and q axis, the quantities that you have transformed will be rotating at one particular frequency. So based on that, you can easily calculate many parameters. That's the advantages of this kinds of transformation. So these two questions are very important. Normally in examinations they ask the Parkes transformation matrix, the Clark's transformation and its advantages.